Yo, YouTube, how's it going? I am 2 minutes late, but that's okay. Um, let's get on. Okay, I'm just gonna start streaming. I think I had, if I'm not wrong, I did have. I'm gonna go live first. Oof, actually. Um, hmm, Chrome. Okay, and then foreign. Right, calm. There we go. Exited this whiteboard. What was my? What were? Huh? What were the ones that I was doing? Did I save them? I think I did save them. Let me see. Uh, all right, I need to go live first before I keep messing up. Okay, go live. There we have it. There we are. Yo, 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 yo. All right, right. Let me see. I think it's in my folder, and then content. Where's the content? No. Henry's copy content. Where's my content folder? Is it in documents? Contracts. Most recent. I don't know where it is. Okay, what if I do this? Recent and I say. Oh, I know how to do it. I can save to disk and it's gonna open the page. All right, okay, why is this in general study though? I don't know why. Okay, so general study and then content creation. Okay, which one is it? Is it a random one? Where is the one that I actually did? Superpower supply of art. Switching things out. I can't remember what topics I said I'll do. Might have just not zoomed out enough. I'm streaming at the moment. I'm streaming. I'm streaming. What do you want? No problem. I don't know. I don't know where it was. Should I just go? Should I just watch back the video? Hold on. I think I'll just do that so I don't mess things up. Did I delete this? Hopefully not. Because this was actually a good one. Hopefully not. Okay, timeline of the world. Oh, this is a good one actually. This is a good one. Okay, timeline of the world, instinct, and how to make people laugh. All right, I'm gonna write that in. I've forgotten pretty much most of everything that I talked about here, but we'll move. Okay, so timeline of the world. Okay, how do I pocket the timeline of the world? Of how the world, instinct, and how to make people laugh. Right. All right. I need to first I need to change my stream title. I can't. It's hard for me to do that here. It's hard for me to do that here on Streamlabs. I need to fix OBS. I do. Don't worry. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Actually, I need to put it in. I need to put it in one of my. What am I saying? One of my. I need to put it in a in like my in like my notifications or reminders to remind myself to like fix OBS. All right, Twitch. I don't know. Man, I delete Twitch so much. TCH. Right. I'm re-downloading it. Look, re-downloading it. I don't. Okay, I do this on purpose, but I do it because I don't want to be distracted on the day. Right. I have it to watch my Twitch back and to actually see what I'm doing. But if I have social media apps on my phone, then I'm just distracted because they catch my attention too much. So I literally can't have it on my phone. Anyway, what am I doing? I need to change the title of the stream. Shush. Skip tour. How do I change the title? There we go. Okay. Topic today. 2OPIC today. Wait, no, just topic. I'll say, what is it? Timeline of the world. Okay, that's the topic, right? I've changed the stream title. Okay, timeline of the world. Let's investigate. Okay, and pretty much I want it so to be like everybody has like an idea of every topic, right? That we are ever going to discuss or investigate. I want it to be like everybody has some sort of idea because I wouldn't say every single little thing matters as much, but I'm saying like just like a very good awareness of what is happening or something that you should pay attention to that shapes the way your mind works in order to actually help you do something better or good. Where am I going with this? I should just shut up. I'm yapping. Anyway, okay, so timeline of the world. That's bad. Why is that bad? I'm too zoomed out. Yeah, I'm way too zoomed out. Yeah. Okay. Timeline of the world. All right, boom. Timeline of the world. How do we dissect this? What is my timeline? Okay, first I'm gonna put it in like spurts, right? I think I have some of the words wrong, some of this and that wrong, but it's fine. We'll get to it. Okay, what do I know first? What are the main things? Streaming at the moment. I'm streaming. You can come in, but like just don't like this. Just this area, right? They can see you, huh? Mine? I'm gonna be using it. I actually need it now, to be honest. So no, I don't. All right. Okay, timeline of the world, right? There are different ideas, not ideas, but like with certainty. No, I don't think so. I don't know. Anyway, I have 1 hour, so you know what? I'm gonna find a way to like make that not happen again. All right, but just that needs time as well. There's so many things actually because there are things that I need to do. I can't make like some sort of to do list and like have it there for you guys to see, so that anytime that I miss something, you guys can tell me, okay, you still have this to do and you still have to focus on this. Or did you do this or did you do that? So I think I'm gonna set that up a to do list, and that's gonna be in my to do list as well. Okay. So time of the world. What is the like? Okay, let's make it as simple as possible. All right, this is the start, and this is the end. Okay, in this region, start of the world, end of the world. What do we know? And the reason why I didn't say current is like what the time it's like. The reason I didn't say start till now is because there is a there's some ideas on how the world will end as well, right? Ideas, some prophecy, some speculation. You know what I mean? Some scientific certainty, right? But what we do know is that there is more, not knowledge, but more like literature, I'll say, on the start. Okay, START. And if you're on Twitch, that means you're a gamer, so you understand start. All right, cool. And this is end. There we go. Very simple. Very, very easy. Right? I should. Okay, this is hurting my OCD. All right, hold on. All right, there we go. I'll put it right here. Right, this is the time of the world. Okay. Right. I don't want to make a here because I don't know how. Okay, from the start of the world to now, and from now to the end of the world, I don't know how far apart they are. I really don't know. So I can't really say a now, right? So I'm gonna have the now be like in this sort of separate, movable area, right? It's somewhere in between the start and the end, but I can't put it anywhere here. I can't put it anywhere here because I don't know where we are. If the world ends tomorrow, then I'll be wrong, okay? So, right. What do we know about the start? Okay, first things first, everybody knows like Big Bang. Big Bang, okay? We're going to dissect this further, right? But Big Bang, right? Religious view, Adam and Eve. ADAM and Eve. Right? 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 What else is there? What else? Like this, everything I'm putting out here is what is in my head and circulating, right? When I think of, okay, you tell me timeline of the world, Henry, what do you know? Everything that you're about to see from now on, or from the start on, is just everything that I know myself. Okay? Okay? And then I'm going to have to explain it and extrapolate further to come to like a generalized statement on what the timeline of the world is, right? So if I say something wrong, or if I say something that you're not really a big fan of, don't hang me, right? Just understand that this is just what is in here, okay? So I'm putting this out there for you to see. All right. So I know that Big Bang, Adam and Eve, these are two ways people believe the world started, right? That's just a fact that people believe in these two um, historical propositions, I'll say, right? So there we go. I actually believe in this purely because I'm a Christian in this. But to be honest, believing in this does not. Wait 1 second. Let me just finish this. This is satisfying. All right. Believing in this does not rule out this. I don't know how anything happened. I haven't a clue what happened. Right. I haven't read the literature on how the Big Bang took place, this and that, or went further into the sort of the Greek manuscripts or whatever the case may be, Aramaic, into Adam and Eve either. Okay. This is just what I know. Right. Because I'm a Christian and I have faith, I believe this. Right. So ILIEV this. Right? I understand that a lot of people would move with this idea. So there is something here, right? There is something here. You know what I mean? There is something. That's all that's in my head. Thinking about other propositions of how the world started, I haven't actually. There's nothing else. Um, no big like idea that really stands out to me. This is all that I have ever thought of or thought about. These are the most popular ones that are in here. Okay? Cool. Right. Moving forward from the start of the world, where is the next thing that I know? Okay? This isn't going to be a religious like topic dissection, although, right, my view of history takes a more religious perspective, right? It does, because that's the most that I've actually engaged into study properly. But to go with a secular view, right? What can I say is like a thing that is like the general, like this definitely happened, not something that you have to use faith to grab onto, you know? Um, okay. I know. Hmm. Okay. Cavemen. Reason I'm gonna say cavemen is because we didn't have technology, right? Back then, there was no technology, so people had to obviously use very simple tools and sleep in very simple places. So caveman period. I'm gonna put it like here, right? So this is where the caveman reigned. So caveman, right? That's the caveman period. Okay. So what was happening here? What, like, can I picture like a day in the caveman period? Okay, let me just move this out here. Let's picture a day. One day, and I have to remember that I only have like 40 minutes to really write out all of this and then come up with a statement. Hopefully you can't hear that. I hope you can't hear that. All right. Um, as I was saying. Okay, what is a day like for the caveman period? Okay, I think they wake up, hunt, right? Eat. I don't know what type of jokes they would probably say how they entertain themselves, but find a way to entertain themselves and then sleep. Okay. Now, for each like simple part, what would they be eating? I would say possibly, probably, possibly, just like meat. I don't know, like meat, like steak, meat cooked over a steak or something like that. And then I wouldn't say cavemen would be eating much vegetables. I wouldn't say that. No, maybe fruit. Right, fruit. Okay. Hmm. I don't think they brush their teeth either, so maybe they had something, but I don't know if they did. Hunt, how they hunt, obviously were like just tools that they made or found on the floor or something. Okay, so like a sharpened stone, right? A sharpened stone, so like a sharp object in order to like obviously kill whatever, right? And then entertainment would be, what would have happened here? How they entertain themselves? I don't know if they would have time actually. I could rule this out. I'm not sure if they had time to entertain themselves because the hunt might have been like a day, like days long to actually gather, because in the wild with zero infrastructure, like zero, it's like survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? And human beings without technology. let me tell you something about human beings without technology. Um, we will get mauled by the tiniest or the least scary animals. We are, maybe they were more hardballed back then, and they would, take on like a hyena or something like that, right? But in my opinion, right, with all, I think I'm looking at it from a perspective of what human beings are like now. I think we're very reliant on technology, so I'm not too sure how they would be, but I think they would have been, um, I guess physically impressive, but still, right? I really don't think they would have fared very well with the animals that existed back then. So they would have needed technology in order to compete. Okay, right. So I'm gonna rule out entertainment, maybe very tiny, but like nothing that stands out. And then sleep. This is a very boring, but uh, maybe they did have some sort of entertainment. I can't really think of anything that they would possibly do. Maybe the hunt was entertaining, right? If the weak person couldn't gather any like game, then they'll just laugh at them and just have fun like that. Maybe that was how like the hierarchy was structured around who can get the most game from the wild. And if you die, it's like a disgrace or something like that. I don't know, maybe. Whatever. All right, moving on. So, moving on from caveman, right? This is the least amount of technology any singular time period has ever had, right? If we move on, now from here to, I'd say, the more sophisticated time, like the Greek time, ancient Greece. Oh, there we go. Like this to me, this whole area, right? This whole area is fuzzy. It's very unclear. I know about Genghis Khan, but I don't know if Genghis Khan was before ancient Greece or not. I don't know. Or were they like simultaneous? I don't know. Right? All of here for me is more of a religious perspective. I'm not gonna lie. It's like you can tell, like, I'm Christian, Adam and Eve. Um it's more about like the rise of Israel. Oh, what am I talking about? Egypt. Egypt. I don't know the yeah, I don't know, right? I don't know. Mm, should I call this secular timeline of the world so that I can distinguish between them? So I have to rope this in. If I'm just saying timeline of the world, I have to rope this in. But you have to understand that I'll just say, okay, cool. What else? Caveman, ancient Greece. Between caveman era and ancient Greece era, what was there? I don't know. Stone Age. Stone Age. Stone Age caveman era? Or Iron Age or Bronze Age or whatever the case may be. I haven't a clue. Was that this period? I don't want to have numbers beside it either. I just want to have like more of a visual representation, because if I was to put numbers in this, I will fail horrendously. So I am right. What if I do this instead? I would say this would be secular timeline. Uh, right, secular timeline, right? And I'll make another timeline here. Uh, uh, and I'll say this is religious timeline. And I'll say Christian. All right, cool. Another line. Start, end, here. Okay, zoom in, zoom all the way in. Right, having a clue about this, but still make the same things. Start of the world. Oh, point that there. A and E, right? Fall of man. Then boom, we go right to, who do we go to? Holy cow, I'm bad at this. Adam and Eve. Then, oh yeah, Cain and Abel. Cain, Abel, right? Then we go over to Abraham. Then we go over to I'm gonna only put the popular ones so that I'm not like, going too deep. Okay, Abraham and then Moses, right? Then Moses. Then after Moses was like, I don't know, he probably is popular. Okay, so King David, right? King David, right? And I'm pretty sure most people have heard about Solomon, right? Solomon. And then you had flip. This number line is too tiny. Okay, what if I do this? What if I do this? I say, boom, boom, start, and I say Adam and Eve, Cain, Abel, Abraham. A little bit of a move, and then Moses, and then King David, and then Solomon, right? Now from Solomon all the way till who in the middle is known. I'll just say Jesus. I don't know if who's really, if you guys really know, sort of like the other kings and the prophets, right? Do they? Right, and then Jesus, right? Right. There you go. Right, but Jesus is actually in the secular one because he's proven, right? So yeah, but I'll just take it out. Fine. Okay. Anyway, right there, and then moving forward is just kind of like more, I guess, Christian history and all the other stuff. You know what I mean? But going back to secular one. Okay. No, here. Here is fuzzy, right? The to fill this gap, I sort of fall back to here. Like, are you getting what I'm saying? This is what is in my head, okay? I don't know this gap that well. I know it's like caveman period and then there's some sort of stone age. I don't know where that relates in terms of ancient Greece. I haven't a clue. You have seen other topics where I'm, blabbing my ass off doing this, right? But this is an actual like facts based topic, not like speculation. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, there is so much that I don't like. I don't know it, but I think to have a decent idea or a decent picture, or to at least fill out the blurry part, is good because it helps you know the sort of stupid mistakes that has been made and helps you really identify what part of the timeline that you're in. Whether you take that as in a micro level in terms of, okay, let's say from the start of the 19th century to now, okay, in terms of other significant periods, right? Where in the life cycle are we? Are we in the worst possible time and it's going to be something fantastic happening in the next couple of years? Or have we missed the best possible time that could ever happen? You know what I mean? Right? But you have to take it in a macro level, like the whole thing, right? Where are we now? And in the macro level, like in terms of time periods. Okay, going back here, caveman was a time period. There's probably a more significant name given to this caveman period. Oh, yes, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are significant, right? The what's it called, the meteorite that struck, and this is a big thing, right? Meteorite that struck the dinosaurs and changed the world. Right. Also, in this you have, like, I put names first, but we also have events. Events are the most important, right? But in my opinion, I think these people make the event. I didn't even put Noah, right? After Cain and Abel, Noah and the neighbor. Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Come. Um. Okay, so I'll say this is before the caveman period, and then I'll just say the flood. Yeah, Noah had flood. Yeah, okay. So this is before the caveman period. So I would say, yeah, dinosaurs. Dino, right? There we go. Dinosaurs. You see, it's coming back. This has to, like, I need to be able to do this on on the spot. Okay, so dinosaurs, and then meteorite. So like came different like bush and then like destroyed, right? Okay, cool. That happened. So here though, what happens here? I think this is just like very slow technological, like zero progress at all. I don't know the names to identify it as. And then I think iron got something here, or maybe closer to here. And then ooh, okay. What if I say kingdoms? Kingdoms rose because Greece wasn't the first big kingdom. Let's think of kingdoms, right? What types of kingdoms rose? Because before it was like hunter gatherers, right? In terms of the caveman period, the hunter gatherers, and then they realized that coming together was yielded more returns, right? Then they became, from hunter gatherers, they became farmers. They learned how to farm, right? From caveman to farmer, caveman hunter to farmer, right? In order like eating crops rather than just meat, okay? Farmer. And then here like farmers joined hands, I guess, and became bigger. And the bigger they got, the more they could turn into like a mighty nation, and then to then like go destroy other places and take their own food if they don't have good food. Get what I mean? It's still the same like fighting and stuff, right? So nations. Let's think about nations. Okay, Egypt is a big one, right? That's a big one. Everybody knows that Egypt was a significant kingdom back then. Even with the pyramids, you can see how technologically advanced the Egyptians were, right? I'm not speculating about any flipping aliens that brought the pyramid. No, I don't do that. I don't believe in that, right? You can say that, but I don't believe in it. I don't care. There's nothing there. I don't know. Okay. So Egypt, okay? And then after Egypt, Greece. But what other kingdoms were here? What other kingdoms were here? I know this looks very messy, but if you've been watching from the start, good job. You will understand. All right. Boom. Egypt. Okay. After Egypt is where? Who? I off the top of my head, but I think this is mostly after ancient Greece. Off the top of my head, what I can say is like Persia, but I think after ancient Greece you get to Rome, and then from Rome you get to Persia. While this is going on, this like European beef is going on. You still have like the like Genghis Khan era, and also what's that richest guy in Africa? I think he's more Egyptian though, but I can't remember his name. But Genghis Khan is kind of happening as like Rome is happening. This is what's in my head. It can be very, very long. Yes, but I think there is one other nation after Egypt. Well, China, the King Dynasty. No, King Dynasty after King Khan. Genghis Khan was more Mongolia, right? So I'll just say Mongolia. No, 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 that's bad. Mongolia is when this was happening. Was it? I don't know, but I'll put Mongolia like after Rome. So here. So after Egypt, was Greece like the second like biggest one? I don't know. But we'll leave it there for now. Okay. After ancient Greece, everybody knows Rome destroyed Greece. Okay, so Rome, right? The Roman Empire. Roman Empire. I don't know. Okay, we're still like this is meant to be like now. And look how much space it's taken. I probably should have made the long number line like very big, very long, like extremely long. No going back now. I actually can flip. Okay. Perfect. Right, we're not here anymore. Uh, we are here. Right, better. Okay, so ancient Greece, right? Ancient Greece, Roman Empire, and then Persia. I think Persia was after. Right, I'm going in terms of kingdoms. Like we're going up and up and up in terms of kingdoms. But let's be more significant. What did ancient Greece have? They had philosophy, but the philosophy was being built. Like I think it was good. Like how they ran, like their civilization was. I guess the for the time, like mhm, it's the most representative of what modern day democracy is like. Okay, so they had philosophy and they were the ones that introduced democracy. You know what I mean? They introduced it, right? But it was a different type of democracy, though, from what I understand. But they introduced it. Okay. So this is ancient Greece, and they had philosophy, right? And then Roman Empire, what they had like flipping crazy army, right? So they had the army. They took over pretty much everything. And then Persia, and I think I don't know where it is, but I think there was a Middle Eastern country. Was it Persia? I think it was, but I'm not sure. Right? That's also fuzzy in my head. It's very fuzzy in my head, right? And then from here to like there was also I think Hellenistic period was here. The Dark Ages, right? I'll say that. I don't know where on the number line the Dark Ages is, but I think it's somewhere sometime after Roman Empire, right? Somewhere sometime after that. And Persia. Yeah, I think Persia lasted, and then they took a lot of land from the Roman Empire, but then I guess Europe like sort of retaliated and took a lot of land back. And then it was just I don't know if it was Dark Ages or whatever the case may be or what it was called, but there's some time there. And then there was a time where Europe became the main powerhouse, right? No, not Europe, sorry. Um England. But England was the main powerhouse. Was it the main powerhouse? It wasn't like a main powerhouse like the Roman Empire, but like I guess they were world leaders, not world dominators, but like they were on top of the food chain. Okay, so like I'll put England's rule, or not rule, but influence, like we're having most influence like here. I'm not sure that's the case, but it's here. But all of Europe sort of had similarities. Mm, right. So I'll put England as kind of like Europe, and then sometime after that, there started being explorers and expeditions. India was also like there as well, like you know what I mean. And they were having trade, and then what's his name? Nick Columbus was it? Trying to get to India, but instead of going to India, he discovered America, right? So Columbus, and then America discovered, right? That's timeline. So I'm gonna put Columbus here, right? And I'm gonna put America discovered here. Okay, so we have let's start again. We have the start. We have dinosaurs destroyed. We have the caveman period. Then we have this, I don't know what it is, about farming, and then an increase in like sort of technology, and then you get kingdoms, people getting together, you get kingdoms, you have Egypt, and then I don't know what's between Egypt and ancient Greece, but then you have ancient Greece, and then the Roman Empire, and then Persia, right? And then Persia, right around this time actually, yeah, what's called is also Genghis Khan, so Mongolia, and then sometime after Mongolia, I don't know where on the number line it is, but I guess the King Dynasty took over. Not the King Dynasty actually. Russia pushed Mongolia back a lot. They actually how did Russia push Mongolia back again? I don't know if they were called Russia, but how did that country push Mongolia back? Was it Russia? Maybe it was. I don't know. From what I know, they did it like I don't know if it's true force or whatever. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I think for some Russia took back over the land that Mongolia sort of stretched out. I think it's because Mongolia was trying to like defend itself from China, and then Russia saw the opportunity. No, Mongolia was trying to defend itself from the Qing dynasty, and then today's Russia back then saw the opportunity to take back a lot more land until they got to a place where it was like, okay, they have natural sort of protection, right? Because from Russia, there was really no, there was like, what Russia had is like grassland. So it's like all flat ground. So there was like no like high rise protection of mountains so that anytime um warriors are coming, they can see them from a distance or something like that. You know what I mean? And it was just like unfeasible to climb mountains and try to take over a country. You know, it was easy. It's easier in grasslands, right? So they needed to find natural. Oh yeah, it's called natural borders, right? So mountains, like really high, uninhabitable mountainous areas, are like natural borders separating two countries. So, um, most of Russia is just it's just grasslands. Okay, moving forward, and I'm running out of time. Moving forward, okay, we have the where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Mongolia, and then this is what the flip? What is this? Where is this? This is Columbus. This is this is England. Like I guess English rule from here to here. I'm not sure, but I guess the Dark Ages happened somewhere around this time, somewhere around here, right? So that was the case. I don't know what the Dark Ages was. I think it was just a time of like, just like a depressing time in ancient history. Christianity also was like, I think from like sort of near the fall of Roman Empire, like Constantine was where Christianity like was like exacerbated and stuff like that. And from Persia, I think Persia was where like Islam was like, you know, same thing. And from like what's it called, not Egypt, yeah, I'll say Israel, right, because they have rich history as well. Was when like what is it? What is it? Um, mm, I losing bits? My bit rate dropping. Okay. Right. So in my house, to get people's attention, you scream. You don't go down, tell them what you want to tell them. You just scream back and forth, and it's kind of annoying because I don't have soundproof doors, so I had to go sort that out. Anyway, I don't have too much time, so I'm gonna sort of speed run the rest of what I know. Try to just get it out, regardless of thinking of it or not. So, right, from start to where is this? Where are we? America discovered. Okay, what happened since then? Right, I think it's just before that. I think this is just like I don't know where pirates started, but it should be around here where Columbus was. It's like pirates and whatever, or before the English. I don't know, but there's so much other stuff that needs to be detailed. Anyway, America discovered, and then think different type. Yeah. Oh, every European country starts going to take hold of the Americas. Like they want to try get every single piece of the pie, right? Every single piece of the pie. But I guess in terms of like who was victorious with North America, you can say England. So England was more North America, and then Spain was South America. Spain, Portugal, South America, right? And France, yeah. Okay, I'll say, was it Portugal or Spain? I'll say all three: Spain, France, Portugal, and England were all gunning for it. I would say England won in terms of like North America. I think France were putting up a fight, but England like won at the end, and then went and then like Boston Tea Party, Boston Tea Party. From here to here, I think there's a lot of like art and stuff. And ooh, when was the Renaissance? I don't know when the Renaissance was. Like 1000 BC or something like that. I don't know. Then after America was found, then I think science, like technology, started growing a lot. At, from this time to the technology time, I really like. I know some stuff, but it's blurry. I need to finish. Okay, so it's scientific discoveries, and then moving forward, you have a lot more scientific discoveries, and then you go to now. There we go. And then from now to the end, what is the end of the world going to be like? Who knows, right? Boom. And I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Okay, to recap. Right. So, from what I know, right, and I haven't even paid too much attention in this because, okay, it's fine. From what I know, okay, start instantly dinosaurs are destroyed. Then you go to caveman. Then from caveman you go to farmers, right? Farmers. Then you go to Bronze Age, I guess. And then you go to nations, so like Egypt, ancient Greece, Rome, Persia, Mongolia, stuff like that. And then you go to England, right? When everything was all said and done, England was a big country or empire. I think they became an empire because they took over all the places, but country, whatever, right? Sorry, all of Europe, mainly all of Europe. I haven't even gone into like what happened with the Qing dynasty. I think the Qing dynasty just continued, and Russia also continued in sort of their two respective areas. And then it was like that. So did Africa. Like they were loads of different kingdoms in Africa, from what I know. Having a clue about any one of them, having a clue. Although, myself, I'm African, but I literally don't know African history like that. Don't know. So this is my timeline, right? Mostly European history. I went to a European school, studied Europe, like been here long time, So never studied about the African history. Never, ever. Or the Asian history, right, or any other region except for European, right? That ties in sort of American history as well with it. Okay, so boom, um, America discovered, and then Spain, England, Portugal, and France all gunning for America, and then Boston Tea Party, America said piss off England, and and then yeah, scientific revelation started happening when everything was cleared. I think at some point America and everybody started gunning for Africa too, and slave trade and all that extra stuff. And then I guess American Revolution, like just different stuff, but like most notably like the scientific research and everything. And then boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then we get here and there, right? There is so much to unpack. If you go even with you really zoom in, like you really zoom in, right? Really zoom in, and then you go from like here. Flip. That's two. Okay. What the flip? And then you go from like I'd say here to even just about here. There is so much in this region, so much. And then if you zoom all the way out, you can see all of that, right? Those two tiny regions, there is so much there. So I'm leaving out a lot, okay? But based on the type of history you, I guess, orient yourself around, would give you the higher definition picture of what took place. And then I think that also has something to do with your motivation and how you see your immediate situation and what is possible for you to accomplish. This history, for the for the vast majority of my life, I didn't care. I didn't care about any of this. I didn't understand. It was just like I had to pass some history classes here and there, and it was all gone. But this is very important for people to just know, not as a way to pass a test, but to literally just know and to fill in the gaps of that is like you need to. Also, this can also help you understand and be honest about your own history, right? So from the day you were born till now, you have to be very, very objective about the events that took place. Know how you feel about it, what you think about it, know exactly what took place. And you need to be able to really identify how your thought process or how the way you think, feel, act, what are the events in your life that shapes who you are. So, yeah, right. This is what I think about the whole world. Okay? This is what I know, right? In about 53 minutes. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to really search too much online, but I'm probably going to try to get a picture of what I guess someone not some yeah, what someone's timeline is of the world, right? And I'm going to see what I got right and wrong. Okay. Oh, also, in timeline of the world, right, there can be multiple different aspects. There can be like a timeline based on philosophy. So, how did sort of um, questions or the pursuit of knowledge, how did that start, right? There can be history on that. There can be a history about wars, right? It can be history about specific things that sort of happen throughout time, and you can see escalation points. What the flip is wrong with me? I didn't even put World War One and Two. You see, I know more, but like, didn't have enough time. Where would that be? Boston Tea Party. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it's because of like science and stuff. Yeah, this is just scientific breakthroughs and stuff like that. So I'd say Boston Tea Party. No, I'd say World War One here and World War Two very close together. Right there we go. World War One and Two done. WW1 WW11 I. Okay. There we are. Fantastic. Okay, so let's look up a timeline of the world. I haven't even had this. I haven't even made a statement. What will my statement be? Do I need a statement for this? Or should I just sort of put the events that I listed down in like a full list? I'll probably do that later. Let's look at this other timeline. Okay, so timeline of events. No, timeline of the world. Images. Oh wow. What the flip is this? Bro. Okay. Um how do I read this? When does this timeline start? Okay, so Bronze Age. So Bronze Age, or early Bronze Age, late Bronze Age, Iron Age. Let's see what was in the Iron Age. Greek Ages. Okay. So the Iron Age. All right, let me see. Egypt. Yeah, Egypt is before Greece. Middle Kingdom of Egypt. Right. Yeah, Egypt is like the significant one, like the pyramids. Talking about dinosaurs? No, they don't. That's before. Okay. What is this? Don't know what this is. Don't know what that is. Okay. And then I think this is some sort of philosopher or something like that. And then yeah, Alexander the Great. I think this is him. Boys for Rome. Um, the Han Dynasty. Oh, okay. So Han Dynasty. Where do I see the King Dynasty here? The Tang Dynasty, the Ming Dynasty. Oh, the King Dynasty is much later. Wow. Okay. So where's Mongolia? Oh, was this Emperor? Hmm. 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 This is a very complicated timeline. Right? I guess it does kind of have to be like this. You can see like their individual histories. I think this would be more Asian. This would be that Ottoman Empire and stuff like that. This would be Middle Eastern. This would be European. This would be African, I guess. Or this is here, so would it be this? I think this I think they ascribe Egypt to more European than African. I don't know why, but I guess that's the case. Um, right. So yeah, this is okay. So Ottoman. Let me zoom in some more. Great Seljuk. I don't know. I don't know what that is. What else is like standouts here? What is this? Who's Okay, right. So that's the timeline of the world. Now to come up with a statement. I think we'll leave this for the start of tomorrow's session. Right. I've presented the timeline of the world. It's all here, and then you can see a different one right here. They actually took a different route. They put individual regions timeline and put it like side by side. I did that, but only a little bit, like a fraction, with like the things happening like in Asia and then Europe. I took a more European point of view. I tried to do the religious point of view as well, in terms of like the biblical history, but wasn't able to fit them all in time. I think we will come back to the timeline and keep fitting it in based on more that I read and more that I understand. And it's like we're gonna continue filling up our mental model with more info, more factual info. So I'll leave that there. I'll save it, and we'll come back to it. So timeline of the world. Okay, and with that being said, it's been foreign. Don't forget, and peace.